You love beautiful things, right? So did the ancient Greek, but their obsession went way beyond yours. They searched for a perfect balance even in a single line. And they found it. A ratio so special that every great artist embraced it. But for centuries, no one could explain it clearly until Euclid. Hey everyone, this is Cosmicalus, and today you will discover the real meaning of golden ratio. And by the end, you will know how to use it to create balance and beauty anywhere you want. The Pythagoreans believed beauty could be captured in numbers, so they searched for a special ratio that would make a line feel perfectly proportioned. To understand this, imagine a straight line. Now you want to cut this line into two pieces, a big piece and a small piece. But here's the challenge. How do you cut it so that both pieces feel perfectly balanced? The Greek had a cool idea. The big piece should be the small piece, the same way the whole line is to the big piece. Sounds tricky, right? And what exactly is proportion? We will talk about that in a second. This idea fascinated thinkers for centuries. Artists embraced it in their masterpieces, and even modern designers use it. In fact, the device you are probably watching this on, your iPhone, might be built around it. But it wasn't until Euclid came along that this ratio finally got a clear mathematical definition. Euclid described it in his book Elements, calling it the division of a line into extreme and mean ratio. Today we know it as the golden ratio. Now, we already talked about ratio in the first video of this playlist, but we didn't dive into proportion. So let's go through that quickly because once you understand proportion, the golden ratio will make perfect sense for you. So, what is proportion? Think about a portrait. If the painter makes the nose too big or the eyes too small, it looks weird, right? A good painting doesn't just copy the shapes, it keeps the relationship between the parts the same. That sense of relative size, the way one thing compares to another, is what we call proportion. For example, imagine a rectangle with a length of 3 and a breadth of 2, and another rectangle with a length of 6 and breadth of 4. Even though one is bigger, the two rectangles are similar because their sides are in the same ratio. That's exactly how we write proportion mathematically. Now let's get back to our story. Euclid wrote down this idea mathematically in his book Elements. He described the line in perfect proportion. The whole line divided by the big part equals to the big part divided by the small part. In other words, if the whole line has length A, the bigger part is B and the small part is C. We write, this is the perfectly balanced line the Greeks were trying to achieve. Euclid not only defined it mathematically, but also found its value, approx 1.618. Today we call this the golden ratio. The amazing part, you can draw any line and create golden line just by thinking about this perfect proportion. Now imagine you want to design a window for your room using the golden ratio. You can choose one side to be any length you like, say 5 units. Then let the other side be x. To follow the golden ratio, the proportion should be. So we set it up like this. Solving for x, we get x approx 8.09. And just like that, your window follows the golden ratio. You can use this same idea for doors, picture frame, or any design you want to make feel naturally balanced. And you can even create your own beautiful design using golden ratio. For example, I made this design while learning about the golden ratio. I started with a golden rectangle. To make one, you only need one side, let's say 4 units. Multiply it by 1.618 and you get about 6.472 for the longer side. Why 1.618? Because that's the golden ratio. And it means the longer side divided by the shorter side is always about 1.618. Once I had my rectangle, I drew a line to create another golden rectangle inside it, then another and another. Soon I had a beautiful pattern of perfectly balanced rectangles. This is how artist and designer can create depth, harmony, and a sense of natural beauty in their work just by following the golden ratio. We have used ratio words so many times, but do you really understand it? Check out this playlist to see ratio like never before. And thanks for being part of this journey and have an amazing day.